Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the match analysis. We always do the game analysis after the game, a real soccer talk podcast. You know how we roll. And this time, I'm first of all going to give a thumbs up to my brother and co-host Sheiko. He got the I don't know how he did it. Maybe it's his. I don't know. He doesn't like Arsenal. I bet Sheiko does not want to see Arsenal in the final. And his predictions came to life. He predicted a PSG and Inter final. And guess what? It happened. I mean, Sheiko, the match between PSG and Arsenal, it was so easy for PSG to take away. I felt there was no hunger, there was no fight in Arsenal. What did they just give up after the first leg upon all the stories we heard?
Um, I won't say give up on that, but I think that the mistake Ateta did for today's game was the fact that pretty much the same 11 he uses over the weekend is the
Yeah.
same 11 he uses today, except for one player, which is Thomas Partey.
Thomas Partey. Yeah.
And if you look at the Arsenal, the first 5, 10, 15, up to 20 minutes, they could have scored 3 goals.
Exactly.
But then
Exactly.
you have to give credits to Donnarumma for the perfect save.
Oh.
He like there's a ball with Declan Rice, a header. He could have scored that ball nice and clean, but Donnarumma make the perfect save for that.
Yeah, so I think Donnarumma will pass for UEFA goalkeeper of the year.
I think Arsenal. The first 20 minutes they did really well, and there was a little mistakes here and there, but they did really well the first 20 minutes of the game. But then they just relax. I think that they have the mentality of the Real Madrid game where they go to Real Madrid and dominate.
Yeah.
Forgetting that here, Real Madrid, they pretty much already won that game when on the first leg. The second leg was basically just all they need to do was defend and try and score more. They have good chances for the PSG game because it was only 1-0 going to the second leg.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My opinion personally, I think that Arsenal were tired. The players were tired due to the weekend game. And when you have something this big, when you have a team this big, even on the Premier League game, they were saying he shouldn't have played the big players into that game.
Knowing that Liverpool had already won the league.
Exactly. If you watch the Manchester United game, it's the same strategy that Amron used. Over the weekend, he plays all the academy player and reserve all the big players for tomorrow game. So that's the mistake Arsenal did. And again, with this magnitude, you should not take it any easier. And PSG are players, are young players. They're hungry. They've been to Champions League final a couple of times and they didn't get it. So this is a revitalized team for Luis Enrique. And they take full advantage of that. And also, they're at home. Arsenal would have that first leg. They would have played the same way they play Real Madrid. If they played the same way they play Real
lost
Madrid,
it in the first leg. They lost it in the first leg,
and they didn't do well either on that first game. They had chances, but going into this second leg, I just think that the players were tired. I mean,
for me, I think Arsenal do need an out-and-out striker. Marino, no disrespect to Marino, but those chances, if a striker like the Lewandowskis of this world are in that Arsenal team, PSG won't find it easy because there are some chances you just have to take. No matter how good a goalkeeper is, if you catch him well, you'll score. I think they do need an out-and-out
You
striker.
see,
It's been their undoing.
it's
He's
either
been chopping and changing. Trossard today, Merino
mhm.
tomorrow, and Martinelli next to him, playing as false nine.
If you
There's no
Arsenal,
striker. Arsenal doesn't have a striker.
yeah, when they have back then when they have Olivier Giroud, they have
Yeah,
Lacazette.
Lacazette.
Those two,
Yeah,
and they have Pierre Aubameyang. If one of those players are the players Arsenal have today as a striker,
yeah.
PSG will not have a chance, especially with
I'm telling
their
you.
midfield, with their midfield three, and then you have Olivier Giroud in that front line. I
Yeah,
guarantee you,
yeah,
Arsenal would have been in the final in 3 weeks' time. But
yeah, yeah.
we did mention this in the first podcast of the I think it was the first leg of Real Madrid.
The Real Madrid game. Yeah, yeah,
Striker is what's killing the game. They don't have a
yeah.
striker. Look, you have Martinelli. Yes, he's a good player, but he's not a striker. Moreno is a good player, but he's not a striker.
Not a
Um,
striker. Yeah.
um, um, you can't make somebody a striker when that's not their natural position. You just can't do that.
Yes.
You can try. I mean, Kai Havertz was trying for them, and they don't even have that option on the bench for him
Anymore. Yeah,
until probably
yeah,
next season. Um, so they lose I think they lost the Champions League. They exit the Champions League based on that,
yeah,
but I also think they
yeah.
lost it based on fatigue.
Okay.
You know,
Enough of Arsenal now, Sheku. Let's go to the deal breaker. The Inter. What did those guys bring in their pocket? What do they feed them with? Because I have never seen a side so determined, so aggressive, so primed for a trophy. It's as if they are playing with their last drop of blood. How does Simeone Inzaghi, how does he inspire these players? Because see what happened in the first leg. They scored 2 goals. Barcelona came in, scored 3 goals, and the same picture happened in the second leg. They scored 2 goals. Barcelona scored three, and they say, "No way! This time we're not going to take it." What is it that you see as use your coaching eye now, your coach eye as a follower of the game? What is it that you see in that Inter Milan team? What is it that you see?
the number one thing I see in that Inter Milan team is physicality.
Hmm.
Physicality makes a big difference in the team, and
Wow.
I told you from the beginning that if Inter Milan and Barcelona meet, there's gonna be Inter Milan going to the final,
Yeah,
because
you said it.
I'm not saying Barcelona is not a good team. Barcelona, to me, they play more like uh, 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 stylish kind of game.
Yeah,
Pass here, pass
yeah,
there, pass there, pass there, and meanwhile, you have Inter Milan. They are physical. Inter Milan team is almost like a team from the Premier League. That's how physical they are.
yeah,
And when you
yeah,
look at Dumfries, right?
yeah. Don't
It's
freeze.
like
Yeah,
having
the Dutch guy.
Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool. When you
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
Dumfries again, the same player, you look at somebody like what's this guy's name? For Arsenal.
Lautaro.
No, for Arsenal.
Yeah, Martinez.
Gabriel.
For Arsenal.
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Oh,
So
okay.
that's where I think they killed them, the physical. And even if you look at the Italian national team, my brother, Italian national team are a strong team. They play with physicality.
Hmm.
And if you look at let's look at the Premier League, for example, right? The Premier League, we all know it's a physical team. But
Yeah,
when you nowadays it's changed so much that even the lower teams play more physical
yeah,
game when it comes to the bigger team. I mean, who could really think that a team like Wolf will beat Manchester City, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Inter Milan and Barcelona, they play completely different game. I was
Yeah.
actually
True.
talking to a friend yesterday. When you look at, I think Barcelona play more like sentimental game, soccer, like football.
Yeah, I
Like
know. That's always been
let's
Barcelona.
control the
It has
ball.
always been
Let's
Barcelona.
let's pass it, smoothly. Meanwhile, Inter Milan go like, let's go get it, let's go get it, let's go get it, and let's go. Like it's. I mean, look, the guy that scored the 3-3 game yesterday, the goal yesterday. Dude, you see that guy when he took off his clothes, the celebration?
Yeah. Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
I mean,
He didn't mind.
he didn't.
He
No, but
didn't
what I'm
mind if he
talking
was going
about,
to get a
the guy
yellow.
has no meat in his body. It's all physical. It's
Yeah.
strong.
They're very fit.
You can't
Very, very fit.
you can't have Lamine Yamal say
Hmm.
and in front of Dumfries. Those are two completely different players. The only
No
way you
way.
can say he will beat Dumfries, stylish play. He can cut here and come here, cut here and go inside like he did yesterday. I tell you, that kid is another Lionel Messi. Okay,
Whew. Yeah, that kid is a
that kid
revelation.
is a
It's a revelation,
dangerous left
honestly.
footer, man. That kid. I
Yeah.
watched the 3 goals he almost scored yesterday. I was like, oh
Hmm.
my god, that is
Yeah, the guy is
crazy.
he's a killer
You
footballer.
know, he,
I know, right? He's a killer
I,
footballer. I mean, you just said it all: physicality, then a master planner in terms of tactics. I
mm,
think Inzaghi has written his name in the annals of history with this Barcelona defeat. But PSG Inter, two unlikely teams. Well, people saw this PSG coming because they have discharged 3 Premier League teams now on their way to the final.
mm,
But this Inter Milan team, oh my God. I mean, the final could go either way because Inter Milan, I think I give it to them because in terms of the ruggedness, the doggedness, and the physical nature that they've got, I think they're going to overwhelm
yeah, and
PSG.
and
I
where
think so.
PSG is gonna hurt them is counterattack.
Yeah, they have
They
it.
have it. You have 3 fast players like
Hmm.
Dembele, Doar,
Dembele
um,
and Karashela.
oh, that guy. Yes, those 3 guys. And that's where I think that they're gonna hurt them, the counter attack. But when it comes to physical play in that midfield or the defense, I think Inter Milan is gonna dominate that side. I the I wouldn't say I'll root for Inter Milan. I'll tell you that, right?
Yeah, me too. Me
Um,
too.
but at the same time, games nowadays it changes in the blink of an eye, right?
It does.
So let's just leave it
For
to our
to the
supporters, our
fans.
subscribers.
Yeah.
Let them tell us who they think is gonna win the game, the final, and yeah, and then we'll discuss about that in the next game because there's gonna be a
In the
lot of
next,
talks about it.
yeah, a lot of talks.
And don't
Hmm.
mind you, there's gonna be injuries and all that kind of stuff to
Yeah, yeah.
before the final. Um,
Hmm.
so we'll see.
Okay. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Guys, this is where we'll put a stop to our broadcast today. It's just a match reaction like we always do. But go to our page. It's on YouTube, Real Soccer Talk. And on TikTok is Real Soccer 25. Drop your comment. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to our channel. We always do this. Remember, we're just talking about the Champions League final. There's still more finals in the UEFA competition.
Yeah,
There's the Europa
there's
League
Europa League
to come.
tomorrow
There's the Conference League. It could just be 2 English teams in the final of the Europa League because Tottenham,
and
they have a
Manchester
good,
United. Yeah,
and Manchester United. So it could be. And Chelsea, it seems like they're already in the finals of
I
the
think Chelsea. I
Conference League.
think
So we'll talk
Chelsea
about,
are gonna play. Are
mm,
gonna go in the final. This is just my prediction. I think Chelsea
yeah,
and Real Betis are gonna go in the final.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, go in our comment section and give us your own prediction and tell us
Yep.
what you think for the two games tomorrow. Who's gonna be in the final? And yeah, just make the comments and we'll discuss more about it.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot for joining us today. We'll see you again when we do our next broadcast. It could be about the Champions League, the UEFA Europa League
Yeah.
final. But for now, we'll take a break. We'll see you again next time. Make sure you follow us and subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.